Alabarda joins us now from Ankara. Yusuf, thanks so much for your time. Why has this Baltic Defence Plan caused so much tension between Turkey and its NATO allies?
I don't think that the Baltic Defence Plan is the problem, because Turkey is already providing huge support to the Baltic countries since from 2006, especially for the joint patrol in name of the Air Force. For this reason, we shouldn't understand that Turkey is against the Baltic Defence Plan. Turkey just is trying to create awareness that the threats does not only come from the northern part of the NATO countries, but also from the southern borders, which is fighting against terrorism, peace corridor that the Turkey is facing, immigrant problem, and the terrorism that Turkey is fighting since from 40 years. So Turkey says that I am fighting with the terrorist groups inside Syria, inside Iraq since from 40 years, and I have never been supported, and I was left alone inside Syria for many years. Now you should support me together with all NATO countries, because Article 5 is very open, one for all for one. For this reason, if there is a threat to the Baltic countries, which Turkey already contributes since from more than 15 years, there is also a threat that comes and affects Turkey from the southern border, that the YPG is creating terrorist attacks inside Syria, in Akçakale, in Suruç. So if the terrorist attacks is very important for Charlie Hebdo, which Turkey extended its condolences at the prime minister level, Turkey wants a mutual understanding that the Turkey is facing terrorism problem, and the Turkey's concerns in name of security, in name of peace corridor, should be understood by the NATO countries.
Mm-hmm. Why have some countries who are part of NATO, like France, been so reluctant to acknowledge the YPG as a terrorist organization?
That is a very nice question, but the day before yesterday, when Macron made a couple of statements, he clearly states that we as NATO and Turkey as the others. That language cannot be acceptable, and we should understand that fighting against terrorism, Mr. Macron clearly says that YPG fought with the Daesh and the ISIL groups inside Syria, so it is our allies, and he says it to an ally under the NATO umbrella since from 7 years. So that is unacceptable, because the attacks, terrorist attacks of the YPG group is very clear, and everyone can witness it inside the Akçakale, Suruç, Nusaybin, and in many different parts. Since from last month, Turkey has lost more than 25 its citizens because of the YPG attacks. Mr. Macron clearly states that the ally of the France is not Turkey, but the YPG groups inside the Syria. When we take a look at what is behind of this scenario, it is clearly can be understood that France is still dreaming the ex-colony Syria should be under the control of himself totally. This is the most important issue that the Macron states and underlines, that YPG as a terrorist group is the ally of the France. But Turkey should never accept that statement, because Turkey is fighting with YPG forces as a terrorist group since from 40 years, and Turkey stated and also presented a portfolio to Mr. Trump also from the CIA documentary that the YPG is the sub-branch of the PKK terrorist organization, and there is no doubt about that in name of the records, not from the perspective of Turkey, but from the perspective of the CIA documents.
What will Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan ultimately want out of today's meeting? What would be best case scenario? What type of agreement between Turkey and its NATO allies?
To tell the truth, that all kind of difficulties will be, all kind of challenges will be overcome. There is no doubt about that. Turkey is already contributing in name of fighting against terrorism, fighting with the migration, fighting with all kind of the failed states in its borders with its own power. What Turkey wants, that just a political support, not even for a military support. At the political level, if the NATO countries contribute and support Turkey's activities inside Syria, that is what Mr. Erdogan wants in the NATO summit. If Turkey does not raise such kind of questions, no one is caring inside Europe what is going on inside Syria, because all the perspective and all their visions is about how many refugees will come to Europe or not. If you take a look at to all kind of global problems with this perspective, you will never be able to fight against terrorism. Mr. Erdogan wants to underline about those issues. Let's remember that the Daesh citizens of the France will not be accepted by the France and put them on trial, and that is also a very big question that should be answered, because if you do not put on trial your citizens who fought in name of Daesh and does not accept them inside your country, we should never believe that you are really dedicated to fight against terrorism. For this reason, Mr. Erdogan, as an end state, wants that their concerns should be listened, should be understood, and there should be a common understanding what is fighting against terrorism. Because Turkey was the first country fought against terrorism together with the United States inside Afghanistan. But when things come to Turkey, that Turkey believes that he is left alone.
Okay, it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out in the next few hours. Defense and security analyst Yusuf Alabarda, thanks so much for your time.